Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. This is my choice between the good ending and the bad ending. And once we do the good ending, we will go do the bad ending and then read his extra scene. So what we have to do here is accept her terms. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Alright, I'll accept your terms. If that's what it takes to save Saint Germain, I'm not going to complain. It's actually an exceptional offer, considering the way I acted towards her. I nod, and Omnibus's gaze softens slightly. She truly looks like a grandmother watching her grandchild grow. You are the first person who has ever compelled me to compromise this far. Saint Germain is a lucky man to be loved so much. Then, I shall take you to Saint Germain now. The instant Omnibus says this, the area around us becomes veiled in whiteness. By defeating Guinevere, we'll be able to overturn Omnibus's prediction. Even though I am faced with an impossible task, I can see Saint Germain. I can help him. These are the only thoughts that fill my head. My hope is that you can prove that there exists a future other than what I can see. That would mean salvation for me as well. Omnibus disappears into the whiteness, smiling. Please keep your promise. I swear to God that I will. Hold on, Saint Germain. I'm coming. I quietly whisper this as the world around me fades to white. But what about Lupin and everybody? For now, there is no sign that Guinevere has caught up. I lean against the bridge's handrail and slowly catch my breath. How long? How long have she and I been fighting? Guinevere is strong. I already knew this, but she has truly surpassed my expectations. If I continue fighting her head-on, I'll surely be at a disadvantage. That's why I ran, using the geography to my advantage. All I can do is catch her when she's not expecting me, and strike. However, I'm already nearing my limit. I look down at my hands, coated with my own blood. The remnants of my immortality. My body's regeneration is not catching up with my wounds. These powers will end soon. Oh my, what do I do? There are still so many apostles aside from Guinevere. I tried to keep my spirits up. I have killed Guinevere any number of times as well. She's bounced back from death each time, but she might be reaching her own limits as well. Just a little more. It should be over soon. I cannot die yet. But against my wishes, my feet are unsteady, and my vision hazy. Then, I turn my back to the guardrail and slump down to the pavement. Through my watering eyes, I see Tower Bridge, the symbol of modern London, looming over me. I have come so far running from Guinevere. How ironic that this would be the place I draw my last breath. This is where I felt her warmth, where I was able to be my true self one last time, and where I bid her farewell. Perhaps it's only fitting that this should be my grave. Words of weakness escape my lips. Perhaps I haven't changed at all since back then, since that day when I was unable to save the one person I wanted to. Just like back then, I couldn't protect or save anyone, and simply spread death and suffering. Once again, I failed to save one person. Failed to protect just one person. That's not true. A voice drifts to my ears. You've always been there to save me. At first, I think that my weakening heart is causing me to hallucinate. You've always protected me. But this voice... Saint Germain! I could never mistake the voice of the person I care about the most. I raise my head and find my beloved standing before me. Miss Cardia.
Bloody and tattered, Saint Germain looks at me in shock. Each and every wound he suffered was undoubtedly sustained to protect me. Saint Germain, you've been through so much. Tears well up in my eyes as I kneel down and scoop him into my arms. Saint Germain, he has been fighting ever since we parted ways. He did it just to protect me. I'm so glad that you're alive. So glad.
This is neither a dream nor an illusion. It's really you, Miss Cardia.
Yes, it's really me, the real me who loves you, Saint Germain. I hold him tighter. I want to hold him too. Tighter, as tightly as I can, to tell him that I would never let him go.
You know, I ought to be mad at you. It took me so much strength and resolve to keep danger away from you. Why have you come back to me?
I tried to find the right words for him, but Saint Germain gently shakes his head.
But I'm filled with happiness right now. I am nearly moved to tears. Right now, this warmth is all I need.
His pained sigh brushes my ear. His voice is soft, yet determined, when he whispers into my ear.
I wanted to see you again. I wanted to hear your voice again. Even if the poison melts my body away. I've wanted to embrace you once more.
He looks at me kindly. I can hear his heart beating through our clothing. His heart is beating so strongly. This alone makes me very happy. I feel the same way. I wanted to be cross with you for abandoning me. But embracing you like this, I feel like no other words are necessary. Even if I'm a doll or monster, even if he's a mortal or a phantom, we both belong right here. Just that makes me happier than I could ever believe.
Are you sure you don't want any words?
He smiles weakly, but his words have a slight mischievous sound to them. I catch on to what he means and gently smile back at him. No, I do want more words. I want to hear them coming from you.
Cardia, I love you.
I love you too. I gently pull myself away, then start to explain everything that has transpired, moved by my heightened emotions. I told him about how Lupin and the others have all been working to save him, how we found Omnibus and I spoke to her, everything. I mix in only one small lie.
About the horologium, right? She said she would save me if we defeat Guinevere. Omnibus said that.
Yes, she promised me. I heard it with my own ears. It was unmistakable.
I see. I never would have thought that Omnibus would.
I purposely don't tell him. She said she would save Saint Germain, but her condition was that I would have to destroy my own heart, the horologium, with my own hands. Saint Germain slowly gets to his feet.
Then, this is one more reason why I cannot lose this fight. I must defeat Guinevere so that we can live together.
Yes, so we can live together. The single lie that I told him stings my heart. This really sucks because it's like both of them are willing to sacrifice for each other, but really neither of them's going to be happy without the other. But this is the best way for now. Saint Germain now has a resolute look in his eyes as he stares ahead at Tower Bridge. A figure wearing knightly armor stands there. The enemy that Omnibus had predicted that Saint Germain and I would never be able to defeat.
I didn't expect that you'd come all the way here, chasing after Saint Germain.
Guinevere stops in front of us and speaks quietly.
Omnibus told me everything, to threaten her of all people, You certainly took a huge risk.
It was the only option I had, to save Saint Germain. Guinevere takes a step towards us. Saint Germain steps forward as well, blocking her.
I will protect her, even if my life depends on it. To think that it would fall to me to tear apart two individuals in love. I feel the irony of fate.
I can't tell what her expression is under her helmet. After a small sigh, Guinevere raises her huge sword. In response, Saint Germain holds out the sword he keeps hidden in his sleeve. Saint Germain, you probably won't be able to fight well in your current condition. I don't know if I'll be much help, but I'll fight with you.
I'll be fine.
Saint Germain gives me a smile, then turns to face Guinevere.
I don't want to let you down after everything you've done. I'll win, no matter what.
Immediately after that, Saint Germain disappears. I see sparks flying from the sword Guinevere is holding, and the sound of their impact reverberates through the air. Their battle is like a dance, a continuous back and forth between defense and offense. It's almost like a reenactment of the exchange that took place in the underground facility. However, if their power dynamics haven't changed at all since that day, I lose focus for a moment, lost in thought. Guinevere's huge sword knocks Saint Germain out of the way. Saint Germain! But he dodges her follow-up strike as if he already knew it was coming.
Lupin? Oh, Victor.
That's Victor's explosive. Guinevere is caught in a fierce explosion, and Saint Germain's sharp blade darts through the flames at a gap in her armor. That strike should have been fatal, but Guinevere, who should have been killed, throws Saint Germain back. Saint Germain, are you all right?
Yes, I'll be fine.
I run towards him, and he takes my hand as I help pull him back to his feet.
Killed again? It's quite off-putting when someone who's usually so calm attacks me so aggressively.
Guinevere raises her enormous sword again, as if nothing had happened. In contrast to Guinevere's readiness, Saint Germain falls to his knees. Saint Germain!
Oh, I've come so far.
Are you all right, Saint Germain? The sound of merciless footsteps approaches us as I kneel at his side and hold him.
It seems he's no longer capable of moving. Looks like I win.
When I hear Guinevere's emotionless words, I look up at her and carefully lay Saint Germain on the ground. I slowly stand up. We haven't lost yet. I can fight too. I take off my gloves and turn to face her.
Do you seriously think you stand a chance against me?
Of course. I'll do anything to save Saint Germain. That's why I've come here.
You really do love him. Throwing your life away for a loved one. It's beautiful yet tragic.
She muses with a hint of envy, then slowly lifts her giant sword. Then she stomps heavily on the pavement, causing a crack in the bridge, and vanishes from in front of me. Her attack is instantaneous. I'm unable to dodge it, and the sword skims my shoulder. Although it barely hits me, the impact is so strong that I fall to the ground and roll for some distance. Ugh! The huge disparity between our strengths is almost laughable.
I don't intend to make you suffer. Just stay put, until your lover's final moment.
She turns away from me and begins walking towards Saint Germain. Saint Germain is still on the ground and seems unable to move at all. Saint Germain! I push myself forward, forcing my body up. I grab her sword, not even afraid of it cutting me. In that moment, a fierce cloud of smoke rises up, and part of her sword is melted away.
What? Impossible.
I'm just as surprised as Guinevere. The poison's strength has increased exponentially. Why? It doesn't take me any time to think before the answer arises in my mind. The horologium is turning into the Philosopher's Stone. It's probably because I held the pendant so close to me when I had been speaking with Omnibus.
It has been predicted that you would destroy the world after all. Perhaps I should terminate you first.
Slowly, death approaches, only inches away. But still, I glare at Guinevere and spread my arms protectively in front of Saint Germain.
My. Always having to be protected doesn't make me look very good.
A figure steps forward from behind me. Saint Germain!
A gentleman should not tremble in fright in a lady's shadow. Besides,
He grins mischievously and continues on.
as a man, I'd like to play the knight who saves the woman I love, for once.
Guinevere, standing in opposition to him, speaks with a note of pity.
Have you lost your mind, Saint Germain? You won't last much longer. That goes for both of us, Guinevere. You seem to be near the peak of your exhaustion as well.
Guinevere doesn't reply. She simply looks at Saint Germain from beneath her armor.
Tell me this before it all ends. Why do you protect her? Because I love her. It's so ridiculously simple. I can't believe I'm hearing those words coming out of your mouth.
I get the sense that Guinevere is smiling behind her armor.
Let me ask you this then. Guinevere, why are you trying to kill her? It's obvious, because she is the key to disaster. Even if she herself is innocent, we must strike at the root for the sake of the correct path. That is Idea's mission. I, in turn, can't believe that I'm hearing you say something like that.
Saint Germain quietly narrows his eyes. When he speaks again, it's as if he is recalling something from the past.
What compels you to become an apostle of Idea, even if it meant abandoning a piece of death? Because I wanted to save someone. That's right. In the past, you wished for the salvation of the man that you loved. You said this right in front of me. Perhaps it was because you wanted to save him from the crime he had been accused of. And now here you are, trying to kill someone you know to be innocent.
Guinevere hesitates for a moment. But she shakes her head and silently raises her weapon once more.
It's too late. I can't put my sword down now. I'm an apostle of Idea, a leader of destiny, and guide of history. Saint Germain, I shall kill you and set us all on the correct path.
Their eyes meet.
I am no longer one of Idea's apostles. I shall protect her as a solitary person.
The two of them leap at one another at the same time. They clash, each attempting to take the other's life, putting everything they have into a single blow. Neither Saint Germain nor Guinevere, though her face is hidden under her armor, have any hatred towards the other. They simply live by different standards. All I can do is have faith that the man who is putting his life on the line will save me. Remaining steadfast to his convictions, Saint Germain swings his silver blade. Then, both of them swing their weapons, and they come to a complete stop. A single blow, with all their might. A single blow to end it all. Who will the victor be? Saint Germain takes a staggering step and groans. I gasp. Saint Germain! No, not Saint Germain. I can't help but run towards him.
Don't worry, it's just a scratch.
And Guinevere. Guinevere turns to face us. Her eyes seemed to narrow behind her visor upon seeing Saint Germain and I leaning against each other. It's as if she was being reminded of a memory from long ago.
Brilliantly done.
With just this, she slowly topples to the ground. Did you win? I'm in shock as Saint Germain nods.
Yes, it was certainly a close call, but it's not over yet.
He sighs heavily, then walks over to Guinevere with great determination. Saint Germain. He extends his blade from his sleeve once more, then silently points it at the armored woman. It shines coldly in the night.
I have to put an end to her to be sure. It's not that I don't trust Omnibus, but she didn't exactly specify what our conditions were for victory.
A cold light shines in his eyes. In a moment, he will likely run Guinevere through with his sword. More blood spilled, more lives lost. All because of my selfishness, but it can't be right. Just as Saint Germain said, what we had to do to defeat Guinevere was never spelled out, but we have won this battle. That is an undeniable fact. As of now, Saint Germain's survival should be assured. So there's no reason for her, for Guinevere, to lose her life. Saint Germain, wait. There's something important I need to tell you.
You can tell me later. Right now, I need to deal with this threat lying before us.
Please, listen. My words are quiet but forceful. Perhaps that's why Saint Germain seems to pick up on something and carefully stows his blade as he turns back to me. You see, I have to go away very soon. I promised Omnibus. I try my best to keep my voice from trembling while I piece my words together.
Yes, so the two of us can be together.
We can't.
What do you mean?
I couldn't bring myself to tell you that there are actually two conditions that need to be met to ensure your survival. The first being that you defeat Guinevere, and the second is for me to destroy the horologium with my own 2 hands. I can't keep my voice from trembling when the truth comes out. I feel as if all the warmth is leaving my body. Now more than ever, now that Saint Germain's and my hearts are one, I'm afraid to die. The conclusion that I had wished for is right before me, but I'm afraid to take that final step.
What? If you break the horologium, you will die.
I know.
You're saying you would give your own life in order for me to live.
That's right. I can't stand the pain in Saint Germain's eyes, and I begin to talk, as if trying to distract him from it all. You've risked your life so many times for me. I continue speaking clumsily, hoping to make his pain go away. I love you. All that matters to me is that you're alive. So, don't look at me like that, Saint Germain. The sadness is so overpowering that the smile I tried to force on my face is completely ruined.
How could I accept that? There's no way I would let that happen.
Saint Germain shouts in agony. Because the emotion in his words is so great, it makes the silence that follows all the more deafening. It's as if the silence is a reflection of our despair. I hear the sound of a wheelchair. I stiffen, then Saint Germain steps forward to protect me.
So, it's over.
In a moment, Omnibus appears in front of us. And several figures are standing behind her, all of them wearing deeply hooded robes, hiding their faces completely.
What? You've bought the other apostles now?
What? I freeze at Saint Germain's words.
Miss Cardia, please run.
As Saint Germain steps forward, I grab his hand, and I shake my head.
Miss Cardia?
He probably knows too. If he tries to fight now, the results are obvious. It's just time for me to keep my promise. Omnibus signals for the figures behind her to stay put, then slowly approaches us.
A wise decision. Whether you run or fight, you'll end up in the same place.
She wears her usual smile, which almost feels kindly in these circumstances. I search for the right words, trying to hide my fear so that Saint Germain won't sense how scared I am. So, you've come to ensure that I break the horologium. Omnibus silently nods. Keep your end of the promise first. We defeated Guinevere as promised. Save him. Save Saint Germain.
So, you're putting him above all else. How brave.
She begins to speak with a touch of kindliness.
Saint Germain, this is my promise to her. I will allow you to keep living. Wait, I don't want to be saved if the cost is her life. That's not what I desire at all. I fought for her happiness.
Saint Germain tries to approach Omnibus.
Your desires don't have a place in our negotiation.
However, the other apostles seize Saint Germain and throw him to the ground, pinning him there.
Please, let me go. I said let go.
Saint Germain has lost all of his usual grace at this moment, but it's Saint Germain's desperation that removes any fear from my heart. Saint Germain, thank you. I would happily die for you. My trembling has ceased, and I am able to smile naturally. That I was even capable of having the emotion to return your love. That by itself makes me so happy. I can say with complete confidence that I'm not a monster or a doll. I'm a human being, able to love another person.
Miss Cardia.
As soon as I finish speaking, Omnibus carefully places her hand over Saint Germain. Saint Germain's body glows faintly, and his wounds begin to disappear one by one.
Saint Germain, thank her. I have just given you another life. However, you are leaving ideas, so this life has its limits. I will allow you to keep your healing and regenerative powers. Live your limited life to its fullest, to repay her generosity.
Omnibus glances at Saint Germain as the apostles release him. Then she hands me a beautifully ornate dagger. It's a strange knife, with a blade that gives off a faint white glow.
Pierce the horologium with that, and everything will end.
All right. I look over at Saint Germain in an attempt to bid him farewell, but he simply looks down limply. His silence hurts a little, but I sigh, then hold the dagger out in front of me. I point the blade at the horologium. Goodbye. Thank you, and I love you, Saint Germain. And once again, I have to insert an impromptu break in this story because I didn't know where to cut it off. I didn't know how much time we had left. But in order to keep this from being an hour-long episode, I'm going to have to put a break here. So, I hope to see you in my future videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thanks so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.